Okay, so I'm gonna weigh myself. I haven't weighed myself since my surgery. All right. Oh my god. I literally lost 10 pounds. Welcome to my channel, Quartz and Curls. I like to talk about hair care, fashion, and like today, a little bit about my life and what's going on. So I got my tonsils removed. I'm on day 12 of recovery. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the surgery process, recovery process, a timeline of the pain levels I experienced, as well as the foods I ate, foods I avoided, and then I'll wrap it up with why I got the surgery. So if you have questions about any of those things, this video is for you. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. All right, so first things first, talking about the actual surgery. If you're anything like me and you're really anxious, maybe you haven't gotten a surgery before. I know this was my first ever surgery and I'm 21, so I was definitely pretty nervous, especially with the anesthesia. So to start, I definitely was waiting for a while. It took about 4 hours for me to actually go into the surgery, and no one can go back with you in the room that you're waiting in before the surgery. So make sure that you have something to entertain yourself, whether it's a phone, a puzzle, because if you don't have anything, you're gonna get really anxious, you're going to be stressing out, and it's not going to be a good experience. So first thing, wait time. Next, you are going to be very out of it when you wake up. So definitely have someone that can comfort you to pick you up. If you know that your mom is going to be super anxious and freaking out, don't have her pick you up. If you know you're going to have someone who's completely going to downplay the surgery and isn't going to be very caring, don't have them pick you up. Make sure you're having someone pick you up that is going to be calm, relaxed, and be very attentive to your needs, because you're going to be out of it. You're going to be very fatigued. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be thirsty. You're going to be whatever, and you're going to just need someone to also keep you relaxed, but on top of that, be very catering and nurturing to you. So definitely pick someone who can do that. Also, I would recommend the person that is picking you up stay at their place. Because like I said, you're going to be out of it. You're not going to want to have someone take you one place and then have someone pick you up to stay the night at someone else's place. You're going to want to stay the night with someone else the first day of your surgery. I actually stayed with my mom for about 3 days. And that was perfect because I didn't have anyone else that could take care of me for those couple of days. But I would definitely recommend having someone, because like I said, after it, I was very out of it. I didn't say anything weird, but I was just very out of it. I was very groggy. I felt like I was drooping in and out of sleep the whole time. So that is the first thing. So now getting into the process of recovery. Like I said, I'm on day 12. You might be able to tell, I feel like my voice doesn't sound the same. And I'll come a little closer. You can see a little bit that I'm swollen here. Not a lot, but right here you can see that I am still swollen. No one told me this, and I was very upset. So the first 2 days, pain-wise for me, were nothing. I don't know if it's because the really strong hospital pain meds are still in my system, but the first 2 days are a piece of cake. So when you wake up, those first 2 days, eat and drink as much as you can, especially if you don't want to lose weight. Like I said earlier, I lost 10 pounds, okay, which I'm not too mad about, but still, I was going to the gym a lot, so I feel like I lost some of my gains. Like I said, the pain in your throat is not going to be nearly as bad as it gets later on. The first 2 days were the best, so eat and drink as much as you can. Even though it doesn't feel great, just tell yourself, I need to be very hydrated now. I need to put food in my system now so that I have energy to last me the rest of my recovery process. That was my first thing. Your throat is going to feel very raw. It's going to feel very swollen and tight. I recommend buying an ice pack. I didn't have one. I had to use straight ice, and it was very frustrating. So you're going to be swollen here, and your throat is going to be raw. Also, one thing they didn't tell me, you have a lot of saliva. Your swallowing function is going to be sort of inhibited. You're going to have a lot of thick mucus, a lot of saliva, and it's going to be hard to swallow it. And that's why you want to drink a lot of liquids and get them down to try and flush it out. But you're constantly going to feel like your mouth is full of saliva. Even now, you'll probably see me swallowing because I feel like I need to manually get rid of the saliva, and it's gross. It's not fun. So that is throughout the whole process. Another thing they did not tell me, the second week is the worst. I would probably, not second week, day 5 was the worst for me. So the back of your throat is going to be covered in this white film. and that's actually a giant like mouth scab, which my doctor didn't really explain to me. I had to like Google this, but you're gonna have this gross thick white film and it smells a little funky. Yeah, so you might want some gum or some mints, you know, if you're gonna be like around your girlfriend or boyfriend and you go, you know, around your partner, you don't want that funk in their face. So buy some mints, buy some gum, have it on deck. But anyways, you know how you get a scab in your arm? You usually pick it off, right? Or it comes off and it hurts. The one in your mouth is no exception. It hurt so bad. So once I hit day 5, my scab started coming off and it literally felt like someone was grating my throat with a cheese grater. I'm not kidding. It hurt so bad. I would say on Thursday, which was day 9 of recovery, I believe, that is the first day I could actually eat something solid because I was in so much pain. So another thing with the pain meds, you're going to want to take them when they're directed, or a little bit sooner. If it says every 4 hours, I would take it every 3.5. Time yourself, because what's going to happen, you're going to be like, oh, I feel fine. It's going to wear off. You're going to be in pain, and then you have to wait like another hour for it to kick in. So then you're in pain for like an hour and a half, and it's absolutely horrible. But like I said, so be prepared to take the full 2 weeks off. I was not prepared for that. Luckily, my job is extremely considerate, and my manager like planned worst case scenario for 2 weeks, and I needed that full 2 weeks. Same thing with classes. So definitely be prepared to not go to classes and not go to work for 2 weeks. And then best case scenario, you can come back early. But worst case, if your job isn't as lenient as mine, you don't want to be caught in a situation where you might lose your job, you know, or you might have to drop a class because your teacher or professor isn't willing to be very lenient. And like I said, the second week was worse. So first week, definitely eat as much as you can if you don't want to see a big drop in your weight. Definitely do that. Definitely drink a lot. Like I said, it was very painful. Like to me, it didn't feel like the average sore throat. And I feel like you can do things to help it. You couldn't really help this sore throat because it, you know, it's a wound. It's an open wound. It's not like, oh, you just take a cough drop and you feel better. No. So to get into the second part of the video, I'm going to be talking about what I ate. All right. So I ate pudding. Was great. Try and get something with high calories like rice pudding. You're gonna want jellos. Jellos are really good. You're also gonna want liquids to drink. Sugary things are gonna burn your throat. And what I mean by that, like juices, like apple juices, cider, stuff like that. Not alcoholic ciders, but they will burn your throat. The sugar will like sort of burn your throat and it really hurts. You also don't want something that sticks to your mouth. Like for example, I know for me, like ice cream, I feel like when I eat it, it actually sticks to my throat. So I didn't eat any ice cream during my process of recovery. I actually stuck to water ice or Italian ice. That is going to be your best friend, okay? Best friend. It'll hurt at first, like after the first couple of bites, but the coldness of it is going to numb the inside of your throat and really relieve you of pain. As soon as I woke up in the morning, I would actually eat a water ice to start, and then I would try and shove like some puddings down my throat while my throat was feeling pretty good. For the end stage of the recovery, like where I'm at now, cough drops are going to be great. In the beginning, like I said, the cough drops didn't help. They actually hurt. But once you're towards the end, like right now, you might be able to hear I sound a little like this. I feel like, you know, once I have a cough drop, I'm going to feel better. But definitely talking is going to be a little bit hard. So even once you're not in pain, like I'm not in pain, but my throat feels like restricted. It sort of feels like someone's like holding my throat like this, and it feels swollen. So if I talk for long periods of time, like today it's Saturday, I'm dressed up, I'm going to go, you know, out with my friends, go to the mall. I'm going to be talking a lot. So like days like today, you're going to want to maybe eat at least one water ice and keep cough drops on hand. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the last part of the video. So I'm going to tell you why I got my tonsils removed. Hopefully this is handy for people who are maybe questioning if they should get them removed, or maybe you haven't even talked to your doctor, but you're like, I feel like I'm having issues with my tonsils and I don't know what to do. So for me, my tonsils were actually swollen for about 6 months. And then I consulted my doctor and she directed me to an ear, mouth, and throat doctor. If you don't know what the tonsils are, I'll put an image right here. They don't look very pretty. I was getting a lot of tonsil stones, which if you don't know what they are, I'm not going to put a picture up because they're really gross. You can just Google it yourself if you're curious, but they're these little white things, very tiny, or they can get bigger and they smell really bad. If you've ever like felt something in your throat, coughed a little bit, and a little white thing came out, that was a tonsil stone. Or sometimes if you have a lot, you can look at your tonsils and see little like white dots. Anyways, what are tonsil stones? They are basically balls of leftover food and bacteria, and they're funky, they smell. I feel like they're very unhygienic. That being said, they're natural. You will get them every now and then. It's just what happens. Stuff gets trapped into the folds of your tonsils. However, because mine were so swollen, they were really big, which meant it was super easy for this stuff to get trapped in these crevices in my tonsils and then build up. So I was getting a ridiculous amount of tonsils. I started out probably getting enough to maybe cover like a dime, and then I had enough to cover like a nickel. And then towards the end, I would say I could fill a bottle cap with tonsil stones if I pressed on my tonsils, which is disgusting. Also, I feel like you're at a higher risk for like infections in your throat. Not like an infection, but like, you know, having tonsillitis, like swell up again, having your throat swollen. And I definitely felt like when I had a lot of tonsil stones, that's when I would like get a sore throat for a week. Which with COVID, I felt like I was constantly having COVID scares because I was always tired and I felt like my throat was always sore, and I was like, oh my God, like what is going on? Another symptom, I had a lot of fatigue. My lymph nodes, which they're like glands that are like right here. You have them in other parts of your bodies, but mine usually swell like right here in this area. So you can usually press under here. And if you feel something hard and swollen, that is a lymph node. And usually they swell up when your body's fighting like an infection, or like if you get cut in your mouth, you might have them. Like when your body's healing. But mine were really swollen, and that just means that like your immune system is activated. But because I had my tonsils swollen for so long, my immune system was super activated, which was really tiring me out, which that might sound really weird, but overall I just felt very fatigued. My tonsils were swollen, and I was having a lot of tonsil stones. And like I said, the tonsil stones really smell. So if you have a lot, your breath will smell no matter how much you brush your teeth. You're going to constantly have to gargle. There would be days where I felt like I had to gargle with mouthwash like 3-4 times a day, and brush my teeth maybe 3 times a day because I felt like my breath was just smelling really gross. So yeah, I hope this video is really helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I would be happy to answer them. But all in all, do I think the surgery was worth it? I will say yes. My only recommendation is time it appropriately. I timed it, you know, it's the beginning of the semester. My little sister's birthday was coming up. I couldn't really eat or enjoy her birthday with her. I thought I would have been recovered in a week, and like I said, the second week was worse, so I was actually at my peak of pain during her birthday, so I felt really bad about that I couldn't be there for my little sister as much as I wanted to or really enjoy that moment. And I also missed 2 weeks of classes. I missed work. So I definitely would recommend timing it appropriately. You know, maybe you'll be lucky and you will be recovered in like 5 days. I was not. And even now, like my throat's already closing up a little bit. So I'm probably going to like go have some water ice or, you know, have some cough drops. So I definitely would say it's worth it. Just time it appropriately and make sure you buy foods to eat. Make sure you have puddings. Make sure you have soft things. I also would plan on not being able to fully eat super crunchy stuff for at least another week after. Like I'm probably still going to be eating mashed potatoes, and like you can eat like burritos and soft things like that, but definitely plan to still have a very soft diet. You know, don't just eat chips on day 14 and be like, bam, I'm over it, I'm done, I'm ready. Like that's not going to happen, you know. Plus you don't want to like bleed, you don't want that. So anyways, I hope this video is really helpful for everyone. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know, drop them in the comments, and check out my other videos.